Ox-
Psychologically, you have to deal with the Chinese from a position of strength. If you deal with them from a position of strength, you can work with them, you can get what you need, and it can be actually done. But if they sense weakness, then you've had it. Well, the first thing is, you're not going to take on China without a vision. And I don't mean a national vision, I mean an international vision. Belt and Road. An attempt to change the nature of the planet. India has to have a global vision. India now has to become an idea, and it has to become a global idea. The thing that's going to protect India is actually thinking big. Of course, we have this border issue, and we have to resolve this border issue. But we have to change our approach, we have to change how we think. This is the point at which the road parts. If we go this way, we become a major player. If we go this way, we become irrelevant. And that is why I am aggravated, because I can see that a huge opportunity is being lost. Why? Because we are not thinking long term, because we are not thinking big, and because we are disturbing our internal balance. We are fighting amongst each other. Just look at the politics. All day long, Indian is fighting Indian. And it is because there is no clear-cut vision going forward. And I know that the Prime Minister is an opponent. My responsibility is to question him. My responsibility is to ask questions and put pressure on him so he does his work. His responsibility is to give the vision. And it's not there. I can tell you, guaranteed it's not there. And that's why China's in there today. As an Indian, my number one priority is the nation and its people. Now, it is pretty clear that the Chinese have entered our territory. This disturbs me. It makes, frankly, my blood boil. How can some other nation just come into our territory? Now, if you as a politician want me to keep quiet and lie to my people, when I'm absolutely convinced, I've seen the satellite photos, I speak to the ex-army people. If you want me to lie that the Chinese have not entered this country, I'm not going to lie. I simply will not do it. I don't mind if my whole career goes to hell, but I'm not going to lie. I think the people who are lying about Chinese entering our country are the people who are not nationalistic. I think the people who are lying and who are saying the Chinese are not in India, they are the people who are not patriotic. So frankly, I don't care if it costs me politically. I don't care if I have no political career at all after that, but I am going to say the truth as far as Indian territory is concerned. The question is, why have the Chinese chosen this particular time to move? What is it about India's situation that has made China act in such an aggressive way? What is it about this moment in time that has allowed the Chinese to have the confidence that they can move against a country like India? And to understand that, you have to go into multiple spaces. Countries are protected not by one particular thing, but by a confluence of forces, by a confluence of systems. Okay? So a country is protected by its foreign relationships, it is protected by its neighborhood, it is protected by its economy, it is protected by the feeling that its people have, the vision that its people have. And what has happened over the last 6 years, that on all those areas, India has been disturbed and disrupted. And I'll cover each one of them. Let's start with foreign policy. Our relationship with the outside world used to be with multiple countries. We had a relationship with America, strategic partnership with America, I would say, and that is very important. We had a relationship with Russia, we had a relationship with Europe, and these countries used to help us maneuver in the world. Today, our relationship has become transactional. We have a transactional relationship with the United States. We have disturbed our relationship with the Russians. We have a transactional relationship with Europe. Now let's come to our neighborhood. Earlier, Nepal was a friend, Bhutan was a friend, Sri Lanka was a friend. Our neighborhood, other than Pakistan, was working with India and saw itself as being partnered with India. Today, Nepal is angry with us. If you go to Nepal and you speak to the Nepali people, they are furious with what has happened. Sri Lankans have given a port to the Chinese. Maldives is disturbed. Bhutan is disturbed. So we have disrupted our foreign partners, we've disrupted our neighborhood. Now let's come to the economy. Our pride, something that India used to go to the rest of the world and talk about, boast about. Worst economic growth, 50 years, no end in sight, absolute disaster, unemployment highest in 40-50 years. So our strengths have suddenly become our weaknesses. We told the government that, look, please realize that we are becoming vulnerable. All these things are connected. They're not separate. When you look at a nation, you have to look at all these factors and you have to act, taking into account all these factors. We told them, listen, for God's sake, inject money into the economy, fire the economy, and do it immediately. Protect the small and medium businesses. They refused to do it. So today you have a country which is economically in trouble as far as foreign policy is concerned, in trouble with its neighbors. And that's why the Chinese have decided that this is possibly the best time to act. And that is why they have acted. It is not simply a border issue. The worry I have is that Chinese are sitting in our territory today. Chinese don't do anything without thinking about it strategically. In their mind, they have mapped out the world and they are trying to shape the world. That's the scale of what they're doing. That is what Gwadar is. That is what Belt and Road is. It is a restructuring of the planet. So when you're thinking about the Chinese, you have to understand that that's the level at which they're thinking. Now, at the tactical level, they are trying to improve their position. Whether it's Galwan, whether it's Demchok, or whether it's Pangong Lake, the idea is to position themselves. They're disturbed by our highway. They want to make our highway redundant. And if they're thinking larger scale, they want to do something with Pakistan in Kashmir. So it is not simply a border issue. It is a border issue designed to put pressure on the Prime Minister of India. And they are thinking of putting pressure in a very particular way. And what they are doing is they are attacking his image. They understand that in order for Mr. Narendra Modi to be an effective politician, in order for Mr. Narendra Modi to survive as a politician, he has to protect the idea of 56 inch. And this is the real idea the Chinese are attacking. They're basically telling Mr. Narendra Modi that if you do not do what we say, we will destroy the idea of Mr. Narendra Modi as a strong leader. Now the question is, how will Mr. Narendra Modi react? Will he take them on? Will he take on the challenge and say, absolutely not, I'm the Prime Minister of India, I do not care about my image, I'm going to take you on? Or will he succumb to them? The worry I have so far is that the Prime Minister has succumbed. The worry I have is that Chinese are sitting in our territory today. And the Prime Minister has said publicly that they're not, which to me tells me that he's worried about his image and he's defending his image. And if he allows the Chinese to understand that they can manipulate him because of his image, the Indian Prime Minister will no longer be worth anything for India.
जनहित से जुड़ी चुनिंदा खबरों को जानने के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें सिमना न्यूज को और बेल आइकन को दबाना ना भूलें। वीडियो पसंद आने पर लाइक, शेयर और कमेंट करना ना भूलें।